everyone, and welcome to the third episode of Malitor Builds. Today I'm going to build a demon that is going to support this platform, terrace, sledge, whatever you want to call it. While building this demon, you will see me use another technique that I have not seen anyone else do, but then again, I really don't check very many tutorial videos on YouTube. As I showed you in my single voxel line tool video, you create a 45-degree angle, and then I've found if you put the buffer around it and then smooth it 2 times, like you're creating a micro voxel, it creates an interesting curve where the angle was at. I think if you do it 4 times, it actually almost creates a completely right angle, just like almost flat and square. Anyway, for the purposes of this video, and maybe going forward, just smooth it twice. Like I said, it creates a nice curve that you can then use to make some pretty smooth shapes, as you'll see throughout this video, because I use it quite extensively to make some good round contours. Just know that I wanted him to be gripping the bottom of the ledge. Going forward, I will just call it ledge. As you'll see here, I'm roughing out the basic shape. I found whenever doing this sculpting, once you have something to a certain point to where it looks good enough, you'll want to always make a copy of it. Paste it somewhere else, keep it safe, so that way whenever you go to edit it further, in case you mess up really bad, you can at least go back to something you did before. So that's what I did here, and I'm working on the actual copy of it right now. And you'll see the little curve that I'm pasting in all over the place here, and that's from the smoothing technique that I stated earlier. And as you see right there on the, I would say, the elbow of the arm, it creates a really nice curve. And then I'm using it elsewhere just to make the shapes really smooth, and then I can go over it with the smoothing tool. For the most part, this video is going to be a time-lapse video, but I'll put commentary where I feel it's needed. And really, there's a lot of this that I'm doing is trial and error. I'm trying shapes here, trying shapes there. If they don't work, I'll undo them, repair the shapes if I can. I've been able to create some really interesting things just by experimenting, by using the undo key, deleting certain voxels. A lot of times doing stuff like this, the voxels are a little bit unpredictable at times, so that's why you just really have to play with them and, just find what works for you. Okay, here, I'm just going to take some time to copy and paste this somewhere else to get it out of my way so I can continue to work in this space. See, I'll just move this one over to where I want it to be. I've created it to be the right hand. I've taken the right arm and mirrored it over to the left. Alright, now I'm going to start on the head. I found it's easier, for me at least, to block in the basic shape and refine it later. Doing mouths is extremely difficult with this system, since there needs to be so much space between the upper jaw and the bottom one, because anytime you have voxels anywhere close together, they automatically try to join up. I like to do a little outline to show proportions of where I want my character to be, and the kind of space it'll take up. Now, for this face sculpt, I really had to do things over and over and over. Like, I would fill in one area, and it would mess up another area. Then I'd have to go back and fix it, which then might mess something else up. Anyway, so, just keep working on the various shapes that you want to make and trying different things. I mean, that's how you learn. Well, sometimes you just get lucky. Sounds easy, right? Well, I really can't teach you sculpting. That's something you have to just have an eye for, I guess. Hopefully seeing tutorials, watching people do stuff like this, you'll be able to take that knowledge and experiment on your own to find out what works and what doesn't. I mean, because there's some pretty cool microvoxel tutorials out there, you know, as well as this curved voxel that I'm demonstrating here. Alright, see here, I'm trying to create the mouth and it's caused a lot of jaggies, so I'll just have to go back and try to fix them. Okay, here I'm going to use a 10x microvoxel and try to do some detail work in the face. I tried to use it to create sharp teeth, but it was too close to the upper jaw. Notice here that I undo the microvoxel and the shape is still there. This can come in handy sometimes, but unfortunately it doesn't really help here. Here I am, redoing stuff that I've already redone once. Once again, I'm going to use the 10x microvoxel to create some detail. I want to use it for the sides of the mouth. You'll see here it actually worked pretty good. You never know what will happen with a smoothing tool. It worked out okay for me here, but this is a good example of a time when I should have made a copy first. When you're going to mirror something, I find it's better to delete any extra voxels which are present where you're going to paste the mirror to. I've had some weird stuff happen when I didn't do this. Also, don't copy the center voxels when doing a mirror. It will greatly distort the side that you are copying from. Now I need to fix the middle a little bit. Alright, to continue the next part of the build, I need more space. I'm going to copy what I've done and paste it out of the way for editing. While I generally work on one side and then mirror it to the other, sometimes it's good to sculpt out the other side a little bit. It helps your middle voxels retain the proper shape when you do the mirror. Alright, now I'm going to work on the horn. Here's another example of trial and error. I had such a hard time getting the shape that I wanted. The curved voxel kept turning back into a square. Notice here, when I deleted a voxel, it got a wickedly pointy jaggy. Luckily, when I smoothed it, it popped back into place. This curved voxel trick is really amazing, After doing the single voxel line tool video, I was just playing around with smoothing and found that 2 times smoothing with the tool, the resulting curved voxel could be used to sculpt with. Actually, while making this video is the first time I've used it. I'm glad it worked so well. Okay, I'm ready to mirror once again, making sure to delete the other side. Also making sure not to copy the middle voxels. I'll go back over and smooth it a little. At this point, I had an idea. I wanted to create a fin on its back, so I copied the curved voxel that I started with and applied another 2 times smooth to it, thus making it a 4 times smooth on the 45-degree angle single voxel. Here's another time I should have made a copy before editing. Luckily I didn't mess anything up, and it worked as I intended it to. Okay, to now copy this one and move it out of the way. I want to hook up the arms and create the upper torso. I will paste the head in between the arms. The alignment's pretty tricky to get. Looks like I didn't have enough room, so I had to delete the left arm. Oops! Good thing I made a copy of the right arm. The box from the head erased part of the arm when I pasted it back in. Alright, now I can paste the left arm back into place. This is not going to be enough room to create the torso, so I'm going to copy and paste it up higher. That way I have enough room to build it. Again, I'm blocking out the basic shape. The line tool is handy for filling in gaps quickly. It also does well to help create a bone structure. Time to round out things with the curve voxel. My anatomy isn't perfect, but it's a demon, so I can fudge it a little bit. He seems a bit scrawny. I think it's time to bulk him out a little bit more. Alright, I need a little more room to add the lower torso. I've made a copy of my work thus far and put it away for safekeeping. I've mirrored the other side of the upper torso off camera. I need to make his shoulder blades and spine a little bit more pronounced. Now, I'm roughing out the shape for the lower torso. I was originally going to create a whole body, but I thought it would be cool if he was coming out of a portal or a hole in the side of the wall. Therefore, he wouldn't be holding up the ledge, but rather using it to pull himself out. As it turns out, I didn't make the lower torso long enough to reach the wall, so I measured out the wall and built it. That way I could extend the body all the way to the wall. I had a really interesting thing happen here. Some spikes appeared and they actually looked pretty cool. It seems to have happened because I didn't delete the voxels on that side before pasting it in, as I warned about earlier. However, this time it turned out to be a happy accident. I went to duplicate them on the other side and they disappeared. I pasted it again and the spikes changed. And it's not as cool as the original spikes, so I copied only the spikes to the other side, and surprisingly, it actually worked. Now I'm pretty much finished with this part. I'll just paste him to the side of my castle and be done for now. I'll figure it out what I'm going to do with him soon. Thank you for joining me on this long journey. If you like this video or any of my other ones, please like, favorite, or subscribe. See you next time.